All right, this is going to continue on with the pure progression. Now we're just going to do a study ball on it and take a look at a couple pure progression plays and talk through what we talked about on the board teaching that I just did. Okay, so let's run this real quick and take a look at what the Lions are going to do right here. Okay, so this is very similar to a play that I talked about on the board. So as we freeze it, what we're going to realize is that the Lions, actually, let me take it back. Okay, so what the Lions are going to do is they're going to run an out, a corner, a shallow, an in, and then the sneak. Okay, so it's some form of corner out with the drive combination back behind it. Okay, and so as we come out, okay, what we have to see right here, and again, some of these things are as much details as anything else. So what I see right off the bat is that I see them trying to run back to some sort of cover two on the top. So this should really be a play that I like against cover two because we talked about it. If I got a corner and an out against cover two, I'm going to have the elements I want to basically high-low them. The problem on this here for the Lions, which becomes vital, is they bring Amon-Ra St. Brown inside. They bring him inside to run the corner out, and the outside guy runs the out, and he never gains leverage on this safety. And so as he's running the corner, he's lost leverage on the safety. So what should be a high-low here, because of the details, we lost it because we have our corner running way too far inside to gain the leverage here. So in essence, on this particular play, pure progression, right? So, and again, I would probably start up to the top anyways if I had cover two, if I knew I had the leverage. But here, what happens is not open, a guy there to take away the shallow. Now, Fred Warner ends up chasing the shallow here, or he's going to be in position to take this in away. And then we've got the sneak coming out here with this, this other corner sitting there waiting for him. Okay, so some issues there. But again, we get the defense to mess up and we gain the advantage because this guy voids his zone. Okay, if he doesn't void his zone, we're in a bit of a bind right here. But again, timing becomes so important. Remember I talked about timing of the throws. He's looking left, and so this ball should be coming out already to the end. Okay, it should be coming out already to the end, but it's not. And so the in starts to settle as soon as Jared starts to throw it because he knows the ball's late to him. He doesn't want to get too far inside, so he settles. Now the ball comes inside, and the timing messes this up because the timing isn't the same for these two concepts, okay? Or, you know, for the full field concept on this. So, again, what would I do different? Okay, based on what we're doing right here and what the concept is, okay, so this is what I call a 73 combination. Okay, so it's a 3 and a 7 over the top, okay? I don't need to make this a pure progression. To me, I am going to make that its own concept over there, okay? So I'm going to come out and read this probably 1 to 2, especially if the corner off, if it's a corner off situation, I'm going to try to get the out, and then if the corner jumps it, I'm going to throw the corner up over the top. But it's a best look side. And then the other side, what am I going to do? I'm going to bring this guy right here and run him on a hook, okay? I'm going to bring this guy here and run him on that deep in that I was telling you guys about, okay? I'm going to have the back set up on the other side, but then I'm going to get the back to push out and run the outside of the hook, okay? So I've eliminated the pure progression, even though it could be very similar. I could say to myself, okay, you're going to read just like I have it drawn. 1 is the out, 2 is the corner, 3 is the hook, 4 is the in, and 5 is the outside hook by the back. So we could still read this pure progression if we wanted to. But more importantly, what I believe is I'm going to give myself an option to the front side against just about every coverage. Okay? So now what I've told the quarterback is basically you can read this front side. So let me erase these numbers. Okay. And so I'm basically telling the quarterback he can read this front side no matter what the coverage is, okay? Because we're going to have an advantage. Well, what are you talking about, Kurt? Okay, so again, it's going to be harder to draw because here we're going against, you know, a particular defense. But I just want you to try to visualize what I'm talking about here, okay? So if we get this guy to go over the ball here, and we get this guy to push up and out, and we get the back to get here to the wide hook, what we're going to have is, in essence, we're going to have 3-on-2, okay? So they're going to have a Mike linebacker who's going to have to decide. I'll come out, look at the Mike linebacker. He gets deep, I'm going to replace with the hook. He stays down, then they're going to have a Sam linebacker here, okay? It doesn't really matter what coverage it is, okay? Is it quarters? Is it 3? Is it 2? They're going to have 2 linebackers there. Now, if it's 2, they'll probably have a corner sitting outside, but he's not really relevant because I'm not running into him. But I'm going to read the Mike to the Sam, and I'm going to get a high-low over there on that hook defender once again. If the Mike linebacker pushes through, then I can take the hook right now, okay? And I'm going to use this up here, this 73, okay, as a means of going, okay, do I get a guy in conflict? So the guy in conflict would be is if we get cover 2, as I said, safety was inside. We ran this the right way, so the safety stayed tucked inside. Now I get a high-low over here on the corner. I can go ahead and read it to that side. The other thing that I can do is if I get the corner to play in an off position, so the corner is playing back and he's taking away the corner route, I can come out and simply just alert the out. So I can come out and I can alert it if I think I've got leverage, if I think the corner is off, I think I'm going to have a chance to read that corner high-low or just take the out, I'll alert that over there, okay? But I want to make sure I got the perfect coverage to take it. If I don't, then get right back here and read this play to the front side where we have gained an advantage by not sending the guy all the way across the field to run a shallow, which frees up the Mike linebacker. We're going to keep them all on the front side and make it a front side concept. And what that does is now the quarterback here, he's already decided which side am I going to. I'm going to the left because I've got numbers or I've got a situational advantage. If I don't, forget it. I am right back to the front side. And if I go right back to the front side, I'll be on time to this in route and I'm not trying to play catch up. Again, this in route that they ran here was a basic, so it got in there too fast, which again goes back to one of my points on the teaching is I can't read all of this and still get back to this in time. Okay, so what I have to do is even if I'm going to go pure progression, I've got to make sure this is wider and deeper so I will legitimately have a chance to read 1, 2, 3 and get to number 4 on time. If I don't get to number 4 on time, then once again, I'm eliminating the opportunities to find the open area in a defense. Because if I'm late to it and the window was the first window, I'm in trouble and I'm trying to play catch up and it leads to problems. So you make small adjustments, and to me, you split the field in half and you make concepts that are good against the different coverages where your quarterback knows what am I looking for with the 73 combination. Okay, what gives me a chance over there? If I don't have a chance from the get-go, no reason to read it. Safety outside, corner down. I don't have the leverage. Get right back to your front side. Get back and read your numbers to the front side. Boom. Mike linebacker, Sam linebacker, and in. We've got an advantage there because they've only got 2 underneath defenders. We gain the advantage and we have a chance to win, and we're doing it quickly too. Making the game as simple as possible, as quickly as possible. Okay, here's another look against San Francisco. Okay, and so it's a similar type look. Okay, so they're going to come here and they're going to run the out. And then here it looks like they're running a 7 pump over here. Okay, and then on the other side, they're going to read this. They're going to run an in, a hook, and a swing. Okay, so I guess how they read this now, it could be 1 to 2, or it could be opposite that, and they switch it around and they go short to long, 1 to 2, but either way, and then it goes 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that's technically, I guess, how you would read this particular play. And you watch Jordan Love here. He reads it to the left, and then he comes back to the right, and he's able to hit it. Okay, so he's able to get it in there. Okay, so he makes it work, and the progression works on this particular play, and he gets back there in plenty of time. But I'm going to, again, always say, okay, why not make this side its own combination and this side its own combination? Okay, so now you can go to the best look side. So I don't know what exactly they're looking for here to take this one. I don't know what the coverage is that they're looking for, but you just say to yourself, okay, if you get that coverage, because obviously it looks like to me they want this 7 pump here. So if I get whatever coverage it is, then I can go ahead and read it over there. Or I can read it over there and try to come back and make this a pure progression. But then there's other times where I say to myself, okay, I don't really like this. This guy's down, this guy's over here, and this guy's playing deep. I don't like anything right here. So, as I talked about, we can split this down the middle, and now I can read it to the front side. So, Aaron Jones would basically become number 1, or really, both of these guys would become number 1 for me, and then the in would become number 2. So I don't have to read through to the left-hand side. I pick a side based on the numbers and the look that I have. Okay, so I said 2 guys were number 1. So I would come out to the right side, and I'm going to read this defender right off the bat. Okay, so I'm coming out, and I'm reading him. What's he do? He runs outside past my hook. Great. So now my eyes go to this defender. Okay, what does he do? Does he stay tucked inside, or does he go outside? But now, it obviously becomes number 3 in the progression if I'm reading left to right, and it's also going to become basically number 3 or number 2 if I'm reading it right to left. But if I'm reading it right to left, I get this guy to widen. This guy's my guy in conflict. I've put him in conflict. I'm right there. My timing is good. Probably could have hit the hook right here. He holds it and hits the in back behind it. But you're going to see how quickly the ball would be out of my hands. If I'm throwing the hook, boom, I got my decision right there. Ball's coming out of my hands right now. And if I feel Fred squeeze over there, he opens up that window for the guy back behind it. And I'm getting the ball out quick, but I'm putting a guy in conflict. So I don't have to read 1 to 2, back to 3, right? I'm coming out and reading the defender. What defender do I put in conflict on the particular play, and where do I want to start? Because I want to find that conflict defender as soon as I possibly can in the pure progression stuff. I shouldn't say in a pure progression, but in any play for me, I want to find the guy that I put in conflict as soon as I possibly can. Make the game go as quick as possible. Make it as simple as possible, as quick as possible. And that to me is where pure progression can affect us. It can take us away from the best look side, because what am I looking at? I'm looking at the fact that I've got 3 underneath receivers against 1, 2 underneath defenders. That is where my advantage is on this play, where, again, depending on what I have, I've got 1 deep defender, 2 underneath defenders against 2 receivers over there. It doesn't put me in the best situation to succeed, because this concept isn't designed for this coverage. So I know where my conflict players are. I know where my advantages are. I play the game faster, and it doesn't have to be that much more complicated, right? Because that's the thing, is people always want to say, well, reading the full field can be complicated, okay? Well, to me, all I've got to do on this play is come out and go, how many underneath defenders do I have to the right side? Well, I've got 1 and I've got 2, right? There's 1 safety in the middle. We know the corner's playing back. I've got 2 underneath defenders to the front side. I got that. I got that side if I wanted. I can go read there. I don't have to pure progress it. I can go there right now. Now, I can also alert the back side. Oh, I got the corner off and I've got middle closed. Maybe that's what we want this 7 pump for. If that's the case, no problem. Come back, hold the middle safety, and take a shot and take a peek at your 7 pump, And then if you've got to work back through your progression, go ahead and do that from there, wherever your check down would be, so to speak, if you've got the right look side. But all I've got to do is say, advantage to the right. Do I have the proper look to the left? If I don't, forget it. Now we go 1, 2, 3 to this side. I'm playing faster. I'm playing to my advantage. And where it may seem complicated, I don't think it's complicated, but it's given me the best advantage to know all I've got to do is go through 3 guys. 3 guys to the right-hand side. I don't have to get to 4. I don't have to get to 5. Right? If I'm reading it left to right and I got to read the pure progression and they're not open, yeah, we got to 3 on this one, but nobody's saying 3 is going to be open. Maybe I got to get to 4. Maybe I got to get to 5, and maybe in doing that, I don't have time to get there. Right? See it? There's Bosa right in his lap. Now he's able to get to 3 and make it. If he has to get to 4, which, if you're reading it the way that I was saying it, is really 1 or 1A, ball's already out of his hands. Already out of his hands, and he's winning because he's not having to wait for number 4 and number 5 to get open. So those are a couple practical examples on film of what I would be talking about with the full field read and making some of those adjustments, as opposed to always doing a pure progression 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.